Hello, hello, what is going on, guys? World of Warships Legends! We've got some shenanigans for you tonight. I am your host for said shenanigans, Phoenix61. Make sure you're following the channel, guys. We're doing Legends videos every day. That way you see tomorrow's, and the next days, and the next days. Forever, right? So we are in the Tarigo. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, because I say every ship name wrong. Leave your hate messages in the comments below. I appreciate them all. These are this is the Italian destroyer line, right? So what's cool is these are a little bit more unique compared to some of the other destroyers for the other countries, right? So you get this engine boost, and you can see it's already over with. So it only lasts, I don't know, I think between what I have for the commander and what they are for the ship, it was like 25 seconds or something. But it is really boosty. It is a very boosty boost, right? So, and then you get more of them too, right? So you get 4, right? So sometimes I'm using it just to like get them, get use out of them, right? But so we see Nevada up here, and then our biggest threat was actually that, what was that, a Nuremberg? So somebody already yeeted the cruiser that was out there, right? So this is the trick with this ship, right? And a lot of these Italian destroyer lines, right? So we're getting spotted, so I know there's a destroyer somewhere, so we're going to trick our smoke screen. He didn't like being spotted either, so it looked like he smoked up as well. I'm going to assume he's going to send torpedoes this way, but a lot of people don't realize that these ships come with a rolling smoke screen, right? So if they're not thinking about it, they'll see you smoking, and then they'll see you disappear, and they'll shoot torpedoes into where the smoke was, right? They don't realize you're on the move, right? So, but this is my favorite thing to do with this ship, right? So you can sneak up on battleships with this rolling smoke going. He has no idea how close we are unless he sees this barreling tornado of smoke, right, like coming at him. When you do get to that 2-kilometer mark, that is when you're going to get the assured detectability. But we knew we had a second rack of torpedoes on the way. Shot them at him, and we're going to be the cool guy and not even look at the explosion, because I know there's destroyers over here somewhere, and I want to be able to shoot him, right? But we get the devastating strike on the battleship, and then I was like, hey, someone left a smoke screen for me right here. That Akatsuki gets spotted by our planes, so now we can kind of free ball shoot him with no consequence, right? So I switched to the SAP rounds. I do think this is something that I struggle with a little bit, but is like when to use SAP versus HE. But like, shooting that SAP at other destroyers, you can tell it's like it's doing more damage, right? Like it works great. But if you won't get those incapacitations though, so that's where the drawback comes from. So sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe it makes sense to shoot at them with HE until you see them use damage con or something, like that kind of thing, trigger fire, whatever. And then go SAP on them to finish them off, or if they only have a little bit of health left, right? So here we are being super aggressive just because at this point we don't really have a choice. But we're close enough to this Fuso that is pretty confident in the single torpedo rack to be able to finish him off. So we're going to floor it, try and get away, and then we'll stop firing our guns here because that should get us unspotted in a little bit here. So that Akatsuki's still alive and he's shooting at us as well. So I'm kind of hoping somebody, sends something his way. And there we go, we're finally unspotted. The detectability on this is kind of bad. And some of that is probably because of how I've built out the boat and the commander. Because I wanted to build into the rolling smoke screen with my commander perk. So I'll go through it at the end of the game. But yeah, that Fuso racked up our second kill. So now we've got engine boost is going to be ready somewhat soon, but more importantly, the rolling smoke is ready now. So now we can kind of do basically another run. And I gotta call out, like, this does not always work out this well. Like, just heads up if you're trying to do this. Like I said in the beginning of the video, that Nuremberg got taken out, right? He was our biggest threat. He has, German cruisers, almost all of them have sonar, right? Where this ship becomes useless, this strategy becomes useless, is with those sonar and radar cruisers. They ruin your plans every single time, right? So, because they're going to pick you up in this rolling smoke. So you can really only sort of do this type of gameplay with these ships when those are non-existent, right? Like we know that there's no cruiser or any ships with sonar or radar near us. That's why we're taking this super aggressive route here, right? So we are getting picked up by something. I think it's because we're within. Is it planes? What's picking us up? Is there a destroyer by us? Oh, so this Colorado, I bet you he has. So we got picked up when we went 3 kilometers instead of 2. So if they have that that RGA mod instead of concealment, they'll pick you up within 3 kilometers instead of 2, and I bet you that's what it was, right? So, but we get hits on him, and I was kind of hoping to finish him off, but he got that early warning, right? And so we got the torps off on him. I think he might be on fire or flooding, and then we finished the Akatsuki with our SAP rounds, and then yeah, this Colorado, I'm gonna just. Sometimes I'm like testing the waters, like, all right, how good's the SAP doing? He only has a little bit of health left, let's use it, right? And it works out for us, right? So the only ship left is a Ranger, and then there's another destroyer somewhere further back, right? And I'm at 4 kills, and I'm like, I need it, right? So we're full force towards the Ranger, YOLO push into him, assuming the carrier airplanes are gonna come after us, so I'm trying to weave a little bit. We can only take so much damage. We've only got 6,400 health left. So I'm going to take 1 rack shot here, and we'll try and save 1 for if he maneuvers, right? But, like, you know, you can see there's 8 guys left alive on our team. Roll damage on that. 8 guys left alive on our team. You know, several of them, I'm sure, can shoot the carrier, so you can see bullets flying at it, right? This is when I'm like, all right, do I, like, not shoot it and wait for torps to get there so we get like 1 big hit, or do I shoot it so, you know, like, you know, it's like, how do I get this cracking? How do I make this happen, right? Because I've had those, like, that last kill taken from me so many times. But yeah, so there it is. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. He's got this tiny bit of health left. I'm like, all right, my torps are gonna miss. Let's see SAP rounds to the rescue again. Can they do it? I saw another hit there. Boosh, Kraken Unleashed, and that's going to finish the game because that takes away all their points, right? So yeah, there's a big point swing when you kill a carrier, right? So they lose a bunch of points, and then you gain some points too, right? So 89,000 damage. That's one of my better games with these ships, and that's what I was saying. Like, if the counter ships aren't out there, you can really go to town with these Italian destroyers. I think they might have gotten a little bit of a buff with the last update. I'm not sure if this ship in particular did or not, but 2,400 XP with 5 kills. That puts us at the top of the leaderboard. See what kind of cash we made today. 300,000. That's a pretty good take for a regular tier 6 ship, right? And so I'll go through how I have the commander set up. There is a, you know, I feel a good choice for commander here is this Giuseppe Sigalafolou. I'm sorry, I tried. But yeah, base trait here is the smoke screen deployment time. So that's what you want to go for. I'm not sure if there's anybody out there good for that for inspirations. Oh, I do kind of like that when you get when you unlock a slot that they show it to you now. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's a deployment time guy out there for inspirations. That would be a really good choice there too. But yeah, I put detectability just because it's kind of not great with these ships. So we got destroyer detectability and torpedo damage, and then detectability, right? So torp speed there. And then there's some unique ones here. So this one here, smoke screen deployment time, 45%. So that's the big one there. That's what's giving us all that extra time while deploying that rolling smoke. So that one is huge, Squid's Ink. So that's why I'm using this particular commander, right? That's a big one. Smokescreen dispersion time being less isn't that big of a deal because it sucks with these rolling smoke screens to start with. So having that extra deployment time makes way bigger of a difference than taking the dispersion time, right? So that's while it's deploying, while you're in the rolling smoke, that's making it last longer, right? And then smoke on the water just does give you a little bit of extra dispersion time and deployment time, right? I'm almost always using Unstoppable. I don't know why you wouldn't for this commander, but you do you, right? My opinion only, but yeah, I'm too addicted to Unstoppable. Like, it's just too easy to lose steering gear and engine propulsion with destroyers, so having some movement is just huge, right? But yeah, and then I've got this cool camo job on here, right? So that is our video for today. Yes, and if you're following the channel, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.